right, Fez, it's time for us to play a little bit of Ron and Fez Roundtable.
Very nice, where we just discuss some things that are going on in the news, some current events, and get some opinions.
Who's going to sit in on the roundtable tonight? You pick one.
Okay, let's see. I will go with the Hawk.
Wow, the Hawk.
I'll go with the Hawk.
Very nice. He's quick becoming your favorite.
Yeah. The Hawk and I have been together a long time.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you who I'll take, because he gave so much of himself tonight. The Wonder Boy. The Wonder Boy gets a chance to move up to Ron and Fez Roundtable.
All right, that's their first time sitting at the round table, Ronnie.
I'm trying to get him towards manhood, and I think if I have him stretch his comfort zone a little bit, it'll help him.
Let's see how it works out. Wonder Boy, Hawk, welcome to the Ron and Fez Roundtable.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Good speaking.
You're here every night, idiot.
Item 1, Fezzy, what do we have to talk about?
Item 1, the climber, the rock climber, who severed his own arm to escape being trapped underneath that boulder, Aaron Ralston. He actually tried, after he got caught underneath the boulder, 3 days into it, he tries to cut off his own arm. He realizes that's the only way out. Can't do it with his dull pocket knife. Won't even cut the skin. He tries it on the 4th day. Can't do it. By the 5th day, he finally figures out how to do it.
How's that?
He has to break his own arm in 2 places in order for the knife to work, and then start just chipping away at the skin once the bone is broken in 2.
And you literally have to break the bone in half and then keep stabbing around there, right?
Yeah. So he actually had to break his own arm in 2 different places, endure that pain, and then basically cut off his own wrist and down. So here's the question to the round table. Could you do what Aaron Ralston did to save your own life? Your hand's pinned under a boulder. The only way you're going to be able to cut that hand off is to break your own arm twice. Can you do it?
Hawk, you start us off.
No way. I just pray that someone would rescue me. Even though, it looks like the hope is thin, I just have to just wait there. There's no way I could actually break my own arm.
Wonder Boy?
I would have lost the will to live as soon as the boulder hit me, and not even have thought that breaking it would be the only way to get through the bone.
Fezzy, where are you on this one?
I would love to say I'd be able to save my own life. I don't think I could do it. I think it would be so gross and painful, both.
Right.
The fact that I'm cutting off my own limb, I think I would keep passing out every time I tried to do it, just from any sort of blood or bone I was already seeing. I don't think I could physically do it.
All right, I will say this. You're talking 4 or 5 days into this. Now, he's got the boulder laying on his arm, right?
Yes.
The circulation is cut off. That thing must have felt as much like him as maybe the tree stump that was close by. He had no more feeling in here, I'm sure of it. And he's got the thing of starving. He's got the craziness of laying there, not being able to move for days. You'd cut through that like it was a neighbor's hedge. You don't even care anymore. I remember one time I got my hand crushed in like this conveyor belt, and in no time at all, I had no feeling down there.
Went numb that fast.
5 seconds into this, if somebody would have come over and said the only way out of this is to cut yourself out, I'd have cut myself.
He tried all different ways. He tried to chip away at the boulder. I think that's what dulled his knife. And then he also tried to make some makeshift pulleys to actually lift the boulder up. He's actually...
How big is this boulder?
He must be MacGyver out there. And then eventually decided, oh, wait a minute, it's not the boulder I have to deal with, it's my arm.
And what is this whole hiking thing about?
I don't get it, and why you're by yourself is stupid.
Right. How dull are you? How boring and how unpopular are you if you've got to walk into the wilderness like yourself, like a maroon, like Shrek, with nobody in the world that knows where you are?
He said his happy thought that he kept using while he was cutting his arm off and while he was laying out there for 5 days was he kept imagining himself drinking a martini.
With what? His stump? Here's the other thing. They said this whole time, only about a foot away was his cell phone. He just couldn't reach it.
Oh, that's frustrating.
And then he remembered he had another one in his pocket.
That's rough. That his stump couldn't get to once his hand was off. Hey, let's go to item 2 on the Ron and Fez Roundtable. Al Sharpton doing a nationwide campaign this summer. He says he wants to register 1.3 million voters. That's his goal this summer. He's going to travel the country with musical acts to promote his registration campaign. He's mentioned JC and Run DMC, and he's just going to have these big, concerts and fairs and stuff and register people to vote. Let me ask this. How much of an effect will Al Sharpton have on the 2004 presidential election? Let's give our radio psychics on what percentage Al Sharpton will pull.
Radio psychic.
In the national election, how much percentage will Al Sharpton pull? And what effect will it have?
Hawk, you start us off.
I'm saying he gets just about 2%, and it'll barely have any effect. That's a silly idea. He has no power.
He'll have less than 3%, and the only effect he'll have on the election was he'll be making noise to get into debates, and it'll just be a debate about whether or not he should be allowed to debate. He'll have no effect on the actual outcome.
I say he will speak at the convention. The Democrats will obviously nominate someone else. Al Sharpton will stay in the campaign as an independent candidate on different parties. Al Sharpton will pull a full 9 to 10% of the vote, and he may actually cost the Democrats the election.
I disagree, Fuzzy. I don't think he's going to leave the Democratic Party. I think that you might see that 9 to 10% of the vote in the Democratic primaries, and it'll be good for the party. The party needs somebody out there trying to get young people registered again. But I think in the long run, he's going to think about doing the right thing and getting some of his ideas across rather than just himself as a candidate. I don't think he's going to be the third party guy. I don't see him that way.
I think he'll try to stay in the spotlight.
Yeah.
As this campaign goes along. Talking about getting people out to vote, here's his quote. Here we are 40 years later. Nobody's shooting you. Nobody's bombing you. No dogs bite you. You're too lazy and ungrateful to get up and use your rights somebody died to give you. He actually said that to an audience at a church where he was preaching.
What about see you shaking your head no?
I think he doesn't have any credibility. He's really practically just a shock jock where he'll just say things to get publicity and to be outrageous. He can't, no one is going to take their vote and give it to him.
Why not? I mean, what does he say that's just shocking and not true?
A comment where he's saying no dogs are biting you. It's been so long since dogs are
40 years. No, not really. 40 years. That is not a long time. And also, in the last election, blacks in Florida claimed that they could not get to the polls. This is not, I know that it would be nice to everybody to grow up and act like, oh, this is the greatest country in the world. But things happen, especially in local elections.
I don't think that he's ever proven that he can do anything more than generate publicity. I don't think he's ever, he's never pushed an agenda through within a city that he was in. I think he's like a Don King without a boxer. He's a Don King promoting himself.
You are such a racist. Anybody with big high hair and black becomes Don King with you.
Here is a great Al Sharpton quote from the Democratic debate that was last weekend when they're talking about the George W. Bush tax cuts that he wants to get through.
Yeah.
Al Sharpton says it's like Jim Jones giving Kool-Aid. It tastes good, but it'll kill you.
So I do think, and I got no problem with people trying to get out the vote. I mean, literally, 40% of the people voted last time?
Yeah, it was considerably less than half.
Yeah, and then less than half of those people picked the guy who's the president right now. So when you're looking about it and people going, well, this is Bush is a popular president, he got what, 2 votes out of every 10 that's possible out there?
And if Al Sharpton gets this 1.3 million that he intends on registering, and they do register and vote his way, that's a nice showing.
Yeah, but at the same time, even if they register, because it's easy to register.
Sure.
But then you do have to get your ass out to the polls.
And that's his point. And I can't wait to see some of these concerts. He says that, if you have JC or Run DMC in Harlem, not that big a deal. He goes, you take it to Greenville, South Carolina. That's the biggest event of these people's lives.
I don't even know if he'll pull 3 of those concerts off before somebody backs out of it. It's going to be a melee, I would think.
What's the point of that?
The thing is, I think it's going to be that if a lot of people do come down and there's enough interest, it's going to be more people than they're probably prepared to handle.
What are you basing this on? No, people don't know how to put on concerts, or you can't get a load of black people together.
It's not that you can't get a load of black people together.
It sounds like you're saying there's going to be a riot.
Not a riot. I think that it's going to be, I think people will be partying harder than they can accommodate.
What is that? Based on what?
Well, based on,
Why are you a racist?
For example, when MTV tried to do an open rap American Idol kind of thing, it was a thing where more people showed up than they expected. It was a melee, and they had to call the whole thing off. I mean,
all right, how is that?
I don't understand how you could take the fact that MTV was not prepared for how many young people wanted to show up and join a reality TV show with people caring enough about their community, other than it's based on race right now.
No. This is the thing. I'm not saying that it's only going to be a riot. It's either going to be a riot or there won't be enough people showing up. Whatever it is, he's not going to have the exact number.
Why not?
Because I don't think if you're promoting it as a concert, you're going to, like you said, you're going to get too many. If you're promoting it as voting, I don't think that you're going to get enough people to leave their house just to show up. I just don't think it's going to do what he thinks it is.
I wish Black Girl was here to slap you right now, because you wouldn't be talking this way.
No, it's not a racial thing at all.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. A little more Roundtable with Ron and Fez.
It is the Ron and Fez show. As the bumper music challenge goes on and on and on. What's the common theme in Mikey D's bumper music challenge from all the bumper music you've heard tonight? Give us a call, 866-277-4969. We'll have tickets to the HF Festival coming up May 24th at RFK Stadium.
All right, we're doing the Ron and Fez Roundtable tonight, just going over a couple of different topics. Luckily, we have a blue-haired racist with us tonight.
That would be Wonder Boy sitting in on the Roundtable panel.
Good evening.
And we're also joined by the Hawk.
Hello.
Thank you, Hawk. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here tonight.
Where does that come from? That you guys think that we do the kind of radio that you go, hello.
It's so stupid.
I know. And I'm like, have they spent any time with us at all? Do they know us, even slightly?
I got that from Charlie Rose. I always watch
Right, but look around. Is Charlie Rose here?
Well, I figured the round table, it would help build
he has an actual round table, but there's only one person sitting there.
All right, item 3.
When are we going to see Charlie Rose in this building? You know, I see his picture downstairs.
Right?
And I idolize him like Hawk does. I just love that guy.
I wonder when he's around. Keep an eye out for him, Hawk.
I never see any of those guys in that second one. The second 60 Minutes.
Yeah, 60 Minutes 2 on Wednesday night.
Which I never watch, but Charlie Rose, I watch his regular show. Where does he shoot that out of, I wonder?
I always thought he was down in D.C. I didn't even know he was around here.
Yes, Hawk?
Hawk, did you ever look at the beginning of it? Did you ever watch the beginning of his show?
A cityscape, a generic...
What's that
generic? A generic cityscape.
It's generic if you live in Manhattan.
Really? I didn't recognize it.
Oh, you're bad. I don't know how you made it on the round table tonight.
You think that was the giant skyscrapers of D.C.?
All right. Yeah, and I see your point now that I think about it.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Birdie num-num. Birdie num-num.
We're doing the Ron and Fez round table, and either one of you could be replaced with Black Girl in a heartbeat, all right? So just know that.
All right, let's do this. First person who F's up, and I vote right now, believe it or not, for Wonder Boy.
Yeah,
because
seriously.
I'm so annoyed by his racist comments.
Nothing racist
From a few. Yes, it was. You said black people could not get together to register without there being problems.
What I said was that whatever amount of people show up is going to be less than the number they expect. It'll either be significantly less or more. But whatever it is, it will not be.
Because it's going to be like an end picnic, in your opinion.
No.
What is your point?
Absolutely not. What I'm saying is that politics is a hard thing, I think, to sell to people. So for someone to go out trying to sell it to them, it's going to either be you're going to get a much bigger response than you expect.
That's why Reverend Sharpton is having musical acts. He's making it events, not just come out and, give blood and sign up to vote.
But what I'm saying is I'm sure that they're not expecting the same amount of people you would expect as if it was a music festival. So if that part of it does catch on, I think you're going to see much more people showing up than they're anticipating.
You're not even making sense.
Didn't you have time to discuss this during item 2? Yeah. We're moving on to item 3.
right, let me just put this up. I put up the notion that he is a racist. Was somebody second?
Second.
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 Motion passes.
Can I abstain?
Drea, you're on Ron and Fez?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Hi.
Go ahead, dear.
I'm calling to tell Wonder Boy that little does he know, those are racist comments.
Those are racist comments.
Drea, the thing is that it's not specific to this actual thing that Reverend Sharpton's doing. It's specific.
Which you also called him Don King.
No, what I said was that Don King is a person that does promotions for a living.
You said he's Don King without a boxer. Is your exact words?
Because what I'm saying is that he's a terrific promoter, terrific self-promoter. Don King is also claims to be a good self-promoter. But what I'm saying is
he's a boxing promoter.
But when you are discussing that a black man is going to get a large group of people together, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, well, there's definitely going to be a riot.
No,
yes, you did.
I did not say there's definitely going to be a riot.
Said a good riot.
What I said was that it could turn into too many people, or it could be that it's a lack of interest.
No, that's not what you said. You said either they couldn't handle it,
right,
or there was going to be a riot. What you're saying is that when a large group of people of color get together, there's got to be fighting, or we will be so disorganized that we can't put anything on without there being a problem.
Just apologize, Wonder Boy.
And those are very racist comments.
No, they really are. You said that there's going to be a problem one way or another with these gatherings.
Right. I said, but not because of the race. I think because of you're trying to sell politics to people who may not necessarily want to buy it. And if you're
why wouldn't they want to buy it?
We don't know anything about politics.
No, excuse me. I didn't say you don't know anything about politics. What I'm saying is I think that if you did the same thing and it was a different ethnicity of people organizing it, you're going to have the same results. Either you're going to have more people showing up than you expect.
Well, this is the first I've heard that. This is the first I've heard that no one in this country knows how to bring people together. No. Now he's went on from black people to all Americans, Fez.
What I'm saying is...
Because there's never... You know why? There's never been a successful concert in this country.
No, the thing is...
Or voting drive.
No, but when you put... I feel like when you put the politics into the forefront with the music to back it up. Like, for example, like a Lollapalooza thing was where a thing where they did music and they also had people signing up to vote. But the people that were there for the political motivation were significantly less.
All right, but you also... No. First of all, that's a much different situation.
Much different.
Here it's politics first, and we've just come off a situation where a lot of the people that he's looking to do not feel included in this America that you love so much, Wonder Boy, and after having 8 years of feeling included in that government.
I think that I think that if it goes off well, that is terrific, and I think it's a good thing for our system. I was just saying that I feel like when you put politics out and you're trying to make politics something that more people can relate to. I don't want you keep saying the same thing over and over and just cover it up. This will be our last time to do this.
Clean it up and understand. Hi, this is Sandra, and understand, okay, that there are radio personalities, black radio personalities, that have been doing voter registration drives all over the country for the last 4 years, and they get together. Groups of people in cities all over America every Friday, and those folks come out, thousands of them, to the point where they can't get everyone in to do their shows because there's so many people coming out, and all those people are there to vote and to sign up for voter registration. It's done all the time.
Well, thank you very much for calling.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Andrew.
Go ahead, Fezzi. I'm sorry you slowed you down. Wonder Boy, this will be your last time ever to come into the big boys room. You are not a man. Go ahead, Fezzi.
Ronnie, we now have to take another break and didn't even get to go to one more item. When we come back, it'll be your last shot to guess the bumper music challenge. Listen to the bumper music when we come back. All the bumper music tonight has had a common theme to it.
We're right back. We're giving away tickets. 866-277-4969. Call in and win. It's the Ron and Fez Show.
Will anyone win these tickets? I doubt it. We're Ron and Fez. Tickets to the HF Festival coming up May 24th. That's a Saturday. Audio Slave, Good Charlotte, Godsmack, all on the bill. Tickets available at all Ticketmaster locations, phone charge, and Ticketmaster.com. To get a pair of tickets right now, you have to be able to tell us what was the common theme in Mikey D's Bumper Music Challenge.
866-277-4969. 866-277-4969.
Pair of tickets to the HF Festival on the line. Now, we've been trying to get to the Ron and Fez Roundtable tonight. Actually, during the break, one of the panelists was removed from the studio. The blue-haired racist Wonder Boy. And so far, we've only done 2 items on the Roundtable.
All right, what's next, Fezzy?
All right, item number 3, Ronnie. Let's do a little show business news here, a little showbiz legal trouble. Demi Moore is being sued by a former butler for sexual harassment. Lawrence Bass used to work for Demi Moore. He's suing her for over $200,000, claiming she inappropriately rubbed his inner thigh during a conversation. He claims he was fired after he complained to labor authorities. At that point, Bruce Willis warned him, "You stay the F away from my family." So our question here is, this guy had an unwanted advance from Demi Moore. Here's our question. How big of a homo is Lawrence Bass?
I'm glad Fez asked. I'll go first and say really big. No, this guy's a rip-off guy. What the hell's he talking about? He got fired.
Demi Moore rubbed his inner thigh.
Right.
She wanted to did it with the butler.
She'd still be rubbing mine. That's what I'd be saying. I'd start punching her in the back of the head like G.I. Jane and pulling her pants down.
Gee, I loved it.
I did. That scene where he was yanking her pants down and punching her in the head is my favorite ever.
Donkey punch.
What do you think?
King of the homos. There's no way you don't get into that with her.
Oh, God. And Mikey D, we're ready to do your contest. Here's Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, you heard Mikey D's bumper music. What do you think?
Yeah. It wasn't in Grease?
Was that all from the
movie Grease?
The movie Grease?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Was it all from the country Grease?
Here's Phil. Phil, do you understand the Mikey D bumper music game?
I think it's Island music.
Island music.
Sorry.
No, he meant from Island Records.
Oh.
Sorry.
We would have had Rikishi's theme in there.
Who wouldn't? And Rich, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I think they're all Prodigy songs.
All Prodigy songs.
Yeah.
There's the winning cowbell.
You are a winner.
Thank you.
All right, good news for you, big man.
Hold on the line. You're going to the big-ass prize closet. In that big-ass prize closet, there's a pair of tickets waiting for you to the HF Festival featuring Audio Slave, Good Charlotte, Godsmack, plus many other great bands. All happening Saturday, May 24th, RFK Stadium. Like we said, tickets available at all Ticketmaster locations, phone charge, and at Ticketmaster.com.
Congratulations, Rich. All right, Fezzy, what's the next topic?
Item 4, Ronnie. We'll stay out in Hollywood here. Leonardo DiCaprio, he's been questioned in a brawl lawsuit. This happened 5 years ago. It was the then boyfriend of Elizabeth Berkley. I think we all know who that is, the star of Showgirls and Saved by the Bell.
Also, her father started Berkeley, California.
Really?
Congratulations, Liz.
Now, her then boyfriend, Roger Wilson, who you might know from playing Mickey in the Porky's films, he claims that outside a Manhattan restaurant, Leonardo DiCaprio ordered his posse, unquote, to beat his ass.
Nice.
In front of Elizabeth Berkley. He's suing for $45 million. Part of the lawsuit, of course, is Leonardo DiCaprio. He's suing, saying his broken larynx that he received in the fight has ruined his singing career. So here's our question to the Ron and Fez Roundtable. Whose Hollywood boyfriend or husband would you most want to punch in the face?
Fez, I'll go first here and say, do I look like Bob Ryan? You think I'm going to fall for this little gag of yours? I'm not saying who I want to hit because I don't want to be suspended for a month. He's sitting at home going, I was joking. I kid. That's part of my game. Hawk, what do you think?
I'd like to punch Ben Affleck in the face.
J-Lo's boyfriend?
Yeah.
Again, why should Bob Ryan be home and Hawk can sit here forever?
And I'll punch Courtney Cox's husband in the face. Not for just being a big stupid goof, but for actually being the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion.
I would only slap Bob Ryan's wife. That's the only person I would put my hands on.
We'll take it back to politics here on item 5. Vice President Dick Cheney says he will be on the Bush ticket in 2004. And that President Bush has asked him to serve again as his running mate. Cheney's agreed. He's had 4 heart attacks in his life, the latest one in the year 2000. Will Cheney be the running mate a year from now? Should he be the running mate? And if not, who should?
Cheney will be there. Literally, if they got to jumpstart his heart like he was in Motley Crue. There is no effing way in the world they're going to leave the president out there without somebody attending for Baba Louie.
I'll go next. Dick Cheney will be President Bush's running mate. Right now, the only reason they would change it up is if Bush felt there was some sort of threat to his re-election campaign and he thought he needed a jumpstart like Cheney's heart. No, the Bush administration, very cocky going into 2004. For whatever reason, they keep Cheney on the ticket.
Oh, I think just the opposite. I think if they got rid of Cheney, it would cost them. I
Really?
think they would be in big trouble because there is a hell of a lot of people who believe that he runs that White House, including the Bush family. What do you think, Hawk?
No, I think they can him. Because think about it, 2004, and that's a 4-year term. It's like so many years from now. There's no way he's going to last that long.
So that's 1 year from now.
Yeah, I know, but the 1 year plus the 4-year term.
That's 5 years.
5 years. There's no way that man has 5 years on
All
this
right,
planet.
nobody's asking for that. Could he?
Oh, my God.
Here's what we're asking.
Please don't listen to anyone.
Here's the real question, Hawk, so you can follow. Is he an asset to the campaign?
No.
Why?
He's just too old. Too many people fear he'll die in office if anything happens to President Bush. He brings nothing to campaign as far as I know. I mean, maybe like Bush's inner circle.
Did you watch the last campaign and how he did in the debates? Yeah. Everybody was a little neck and neck saying maybe Bush won, maybe Gore won. But Cheney whacked Lieberman. I mean, he whacked them.
He took him to school with very little effort.
That's compared to Lieberman. Compared to another candidate, maybe a better one.
You watched him speak? He's really, really a sharp guy. Well, whether you agree with his politics or not. And I can't tell by the mumbling and jumbling that you're doing.
Who should be the running mate then, Hawk?
I'm thinking, why don't you just sit on a spinning top? Because that's what your head is doing right now.
Why don't you yell Mark Gastineau again?
No, I don't think he's involved with politics. I think he's doing a TV development deal. Gastineau would be a good candidate.
Everyone is laughing at you.
At you.
Not with you. No one thinks you're funny. They're all laughing at you.
You're not a comedian, you're a clown, my friend. Put on your big shoes and funny nose.
He can't help it.
Mark my words, people. 5 years, Cheney will not be alive.
Please, you can't
Radio
say things
psychic.
like that.
No, I
Radio
don't.
psychic.
You know, you're talking about the vice president.
Not as a threat. I mean,
And you're doing it in Washington, D.C.
Whether you know it or not.
I don't want to cuddle. I don't want to cuddle. I don't want to cuddle. It's just my stuff.
That's it for Ron and Fez. We'll be back Monday at 8 o'clock right after Redskins Radio.
Oh, Hawk, Secret Service, line 1. Pick it up, please.
Uh-oh.
See ya.